Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning. It is time for Coffee Ann here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. It is Friday morning, and it's April the 11th. I'm Joe Callahan, and we say good morning to you, and we say good morning to Melissa Murray. Hi, Melissa.
Good morning, everyone.
Say that again, Melissa.
Good morning, everyone.
There we go.
There we go.
Now we can hear you. And we're being joined at the Coffee Ann table by Annie Murphy. She's a senior program manager with the Alzheimer's Association of Rhode Island.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
All right. This first segment of Coffee Ann is sponsored by the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Visit them online at nrichamber.com. We're going to jump right into this because the Alzheimer's Association is having an event on Thursday, April the 17th. They're calling it's a free caregivers journey and research conference that's happening on April 17th, happening in Warwick, right? Yes.
That is correct.
At the Crown Plaza.
Yes.
Wow, sweet.
Yeah.
Nice down there.
It is nice.
So just explain what it is. When you say it's a caregiver's journey, what does that mean?
Okay, so first of all, Joe, thank you so much for having me on the radio show today.
Mm-hmm.
But the annual Caregivers Journey and Research Conference is a full-day conference for people who are supporting someone with Alzheimer's disease or another related dementia. And the conference is for caregivers who are looking to learn and be educated and looking for the resources here in the state of Rhode Island that can support, can support the family through their journey of, supporting someone with this diagnosis. So the conference is full day. We're offering breakfast and lunch, and then we're offering breakout sessions around topics that caregivers need to learn about.
Like what?
Safety, for example, about how do we prevent emergency situations and how we can improve safety for the person living with the diagnosis. We're also educating families about some of the care techniques that they need to have when they're supporting someone in their own home. So we're trying to educate people on as the disease progresses, how we can support the person to live safely in their home, around how to change the environment. Also teaching people just around how we may have to support that person around personal care or meal planning, or just supporting them throughout the day so that they can have a good day.
When you talk about changing the environment for the person with the disease, wouldn't that confuse them if you're changing things up?
Well, what I'm talking about is for people with this diagnosis, they need routine.
Mm-hmm.
And for some individuals, being in an environment that has lots of clutter, lots of stimulation can be impactful on their clarity throughout the day. And so we need to help them to be able to find things in their home, make it simpler for them to rambulate around the home. And so those are some of the techniques that we tips that we give at the conference. We also are trying to help families to understand about the late stages of the disease and how impactful palliative and hospice care can be.
Mm-hmm.
We also are educating families on how music therapy can be very supportive for the person with the diagnosis.
In what way? Do you have them sing or just listen to songs?
Well, what we know is that music, for all of us, is such an inspiring thing for us. Music can make us feel happy, can bring out so many emotions. And what we know with this diagnosis is that music doesn't get affected by this disease. So even when an individual is even at the late stages of the disease, we can still bring out that person's emotions and connect with that individual with music.
Okay.
And so we actually have some research going on here in the state of Rhode Island, and actually that particular researcher is going to be at the conference and talking about how music therapy can be so impactful.
Very good. If you have any questions there, Melissa, just
I
jump
knew
right in.
about the music part because I saw a special, and I can't remember. This is going to be one of these things. I can't remember where or who was in it, or what, but it was this man, and he started with. It was a while back because he had iPods, and he went into nursing homes, and he would ask the families, oh, what did this person like to listen to? And he would make a playlist, and they would, some of these folks were non-responsive, right? They were like well into dementia, or, or the late stages of the disease. And once they put headphones on them, and then they were, oh, do you like this music? Yes. And they would just ask them yes or no questions. Yes. And people who were completely non-responsive, I remember this one individual, this older man in particular, he started humming and dancing, whereas he would just sit there looking down, even when his daughter came, and just not, it reignites something in the brain. And at that time, he was working on getting all of these folks iPods with their own personalized playlists. So.
That was called the Alive Inside.
Alive Inside, yes, yes,
absolutely. And again,
that was so great. I highly recommend.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, video to watch. But music is therapy for all of us, and it really can bring back memories for individuals. So they, it's always that recommendation is to truly know what music people thrived by, as they, from the time they were children up until, their present age. And it can really be a tool that can really help that person just thrive each and every day. But the conference, it's, we have breakout sessions, and so we ask that our caregivers and family members who want to participate in the conference they do need to register ahead of time.
Okay.
So
how do they do that?
So they can register by calling our helpline at 1-800-272-3900. But I encourage people to look at the conference website ahead of time, and they can do that by going to the Alzheimer's Association's Rhode Island chapter page at alz.org/RI. You'll see the full program list. And we ask that you choose your breakout sessions, and when you call the helpline, you can register with one of our helpline agents. So that's just something that's important. We are trying to close registration this Sunday. So if people, hear about the conference and they want to reach out to me next week saying that they want to attend the conference, I can. I will get you in. This is a free service for our caregivers, and we want as many of our caregivers to attend the conference. We want them to receive the benefits of attending the conference. We have over 50 vendors who provide business and who provide services here in the state of Rhode Island. And for so many of our caregivers, this is the one time that they have every year to meet and talk to some of the service providers here in the state. So, we've been doing this for 14 years, and we feel it's an important conference for our caregivers to attend. I'm very excited this year because we are bringing back our Rhode Island Research Conference as well. So this conference is simultaneously going on, as a Caregiver Journey Conference. And we are very thankful to one of our board members, Bess Frost, and Ted Huey, who is the director of the Butler Hospital's Memory and Aging Program. They have curated the research conference, and we are bringing the researchers here in Rhode Island who have dedicated, their work on areas of music, the impact of music. We're also, one of our researchers is talking about, some updated information and research on how an eye scan can be a indicator of Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. And then we're also just talking about some of the latest research that is funded by the Alzheimer's Association.
I just heard the other day that may help is if you know another language. People that are bilingual, I guess it's the way the brain functions, can help offset Alzheimer's?
So there are a lot of modifiable risk factors that we know with Alzheimer's disease, and and that's when the Alzheimer's Association, we talk about improving brain health. And this is something that we have to be doing from the time we are very small and as we age. For all of us, what's good for the heart is good for the brain. And so when you talk about, learning a new language, that is a skill. And it is, we need to constantly be learning new skills,
Right.
further educating ourselves. But we also know that we really need to pay attention to some of these modifiable health issues that we have. So, heart disease, blood pressure, obesity. There's research that shows that there's a correlation between some of these diseases and developing dementia, later on in life. Age is the number one risk factor for developing this disease, as well as a family history. So there's a lot that we can do to decrease our likelihood of developing dementia, and so this is something that the Alzheimer's Association really puts an emphasis on in our educational programming and a lot of the promotional work that we do through the association.
Okay, the Caregivers Journey and Research Conference is on Thursday, April 17th. It's an all-day event. It takes place at the Crown Plaza in Warwick, and it's free to go, but they do want you to register at alz.org/RI. Now, there's going to be there'll be a conference for physicians.
Yes, that is absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And they're learning new techniques.
Yep, they're really coming together. So we're very fortunate. The research community here in Rhode Island is coming together. There will be physicians. We will have some of our current researchers. We have up and coming neuroscientists from some of the universities who are just coming to learn together. And what I absolutely love about this year's conference is that we're going to be having that cross-pollination of caregivers who are talking to physicians and talking to up-and-coming students. And what a wonderful learning collaborative, learning opportunity for so many of them. And I'm really excited because many of our up-and-coming neuroscience students and biology students, they're going to be having poster sessions. So talking about showing the research and the work that they're doing right now in school. And so again, our caregivers and our families will be, having opportunities to talk to the students as well. And I keep wanting to emphasize this, but we are also offering respite care.
That's a great idea.
It's being hosted and run by St. Elizabeth's Adult Day Memory Care Center from Warwick, and they are offering supervised activities all day, so that if a family member can't leave their loved one home, they can bring them to the event and have a great day themselves. But we do ask that if you are bringing someone, or you want to bring someone, you have to call St. Elizabeth's first to do just a small kind of survey, just to make sure that it's appropriate for them and it's safe for them to go to the respite day. But I'm just, again, this is just another tool that we are able to offer our families so that they can get such valuable information at the conference.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program, and we will be coming back. And if you have any questions for Annie Murphy, she's the Senior Program Manager with the Alzheimer's Association of Rhode Island. Give us a call, 766-1240. This portion of Coffee and has been sponsored by the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Their relentless advocacy team supports members of all sizes and types. They work tirelessly to shape policies, ideas, and opportunities to improve the business environment. Check them out online at nrichamber.com.
Join the Alzheimer's Association Rhode Island chapter for our free Caregivers Journey and Research Conference, Thursday, April 17th at the Crown Plaza in Warwick. Numerous breakout sessions, opportunities to connect with statewide resources, and professional respite care will be provided. Registration is required. Register today online at alz.org/RI. That's alz.org/RI. A great auto mechanic can be a real comfort in your life. That's why so many people in the Blackstone Valley take their cars to Henry's Auto Repair on Park Avenue in Woonsocket. In fact, so many people trust Henry's that Henry's won 3 gold medals and 2 silver medals, 5 medals in all, in ON Radio's Best of the Blackstone Valley contest. Why don't you join these people? For Rhode Island car inspections, oil changes, brakes, and remember Henry's for tires, comprehensive repairs, or preventative maintenance, it's the award-winning Henry's Auto Repair, 1068 Park Avenue in Woonsocket.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
WOON Woonsocket Radio, ON AM and FM.
Coffee In on ON. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray. We're also being joined at the Coffee In table by Annie Murphy, Senior Program Manager with the Alzheimer's Association of Rhode Island. They're having their Caregivers Journey and Research Conference on Thursday, April 17th at the Crown Plaza in Warwick. It's an all-day event. And just through your association with the Alzheimer's Association, Annie, are you finding out that younger people are getting diagnosed with Alzheimer's?
Yes, we know that.
And what might be causing that?
Oh, that's a big
Tough one.
question.
I know.
That's a big question. We truly don't know what's causing Alzheimer's disease.
Okay.
It's a complicated diagnosis. And we know that, we talked about it earlier, there are risk factors, but truly what's the cause of this disease, we don't know yet. But we do know that we're very fortunate now that we have FDA approved modifiable treatments that are for individuals who are been diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment or in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease. And these medications, they allow the person to stay in disease in the early stages of the disease longer, so that we are, helping that person live a longer life. And these medications, what they do is they actually attack the pathology in the brain by removing it. And so we're very fortunate with that. So many people, we know about 65% of the people that are diagnosed with dementia are diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, which causes dementia, and probably about anywhere between about 5% of those individuals with Alzheimer's disease have what we call young onset Alzheimer's, and that's for anybody who's under the age of 65. I wish I could tell you. I wish I knew why. So many people, and even in their 40s and 50s are being diagnosed.
Wow.
And, but we, I think now with these new treatments, we're giving people a better quality of life, so that people have the opportunity to have more time to be with family, make good memories, to be part of their their plan of care, to be able to make those choices, to be able to help their family just, come to terms with their diagnosis. It also gives them, the opportunity, to work with, their families to, like I said, plan for their care, but also to get themselves in a position that they can improve their whole quality of life. So, what are the things that I need to do if I have the diagnosis to improve my overall health? And really be part of my planning to, who's going to support me, who is going to become my circle of support and care and be able to make those decisions.
Okay. Tell us about the sponsors that you have putting together this event down at the Crown Plaza.
You know what? I can't tell you how important, this is a conference that's free for caregivers. And without the support of these following, businesses, we can't do this. I have to, huge shout out to the Office of Healthy Aging, to the Department of Health, Rhode Island Geriatric Education Center, Warwick Mall. Who else? I'm trying to think of. There's so many sponsors. I can't even. I mean, even the people who are at the conference, for our vendors and our businesses, they're paying to be there.
Right.
And so for so many of them, they just recognize how important it is year after year to come to this conference, because they're just interacting with so many, caregivers who sometimes don't even know that certain organizations exist and what kind of services
are available.
Yeah.
And
that is why it's just so important for our caregivers to be there.
I wonder if your vendors see the same people year after year that come back.
We do. I mean, we see repeats. I actually have a family that's from here in Woonsocket that I've known for 15 years now. And she and her daughter come every year. I think I've been seeing them for at least 10 years now. And, they pick up a nugget here, a nugget there. And I think that's what's so important with this diagnosis when you're supporting you can't learn everything in one day. And
Right.
we need to recognize that, as a caregiver, it takes time to learn and adjust to the diagnosis. It takes time for the entire family and the people, in their circle to adjust to the diagnosis. We need to be proactive in asking questions. We need to really be proactive in getting support for ourselves and for our person that we support, because this is a difficult disease. It causes a lot of stress for our family members. Seeing their loved one changing, and it just takes time. And we need to kind of figure out what's going to be the course of the type of care and support that we're going to need. And also, this disease is, I guess the best way to put it, it's expensive. There's so much of the care that's provided is not paid for by insurance. So we need to work at adjusting our finances so that we can support the person. And where can I get financial support as well? So it's, it takes time, and we need to ask those important questions. And sometimes caregivers don't know the questions to ask.
All right, Melissa, this is where you come in.
Yes.
Bills.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that.
Insurance companies pay for this stuff.
Yes, and I was about to say, but I'll say it on the air. Let's get together and talk about what we can do to push back on that, and maybe in future legislation for next year, fight for more coverage for these patients and their families, because that's kind of my wheelhouse.
Because she's done it before with diabetic medication?
Yeah,
and stuff
asthma
like that?
inhalers, and yeah, I mean, it's a difficult fight. Insurance companies do show up to those hearings and say, well,
we don't want to pay.
Well, I mean, in a much nicer way, but
Well,
yes, but I'm not afraid to take on the big guys. So
So, well, all right. And let's see. Now, in terms of all of the Alzheimer's disease, Annie, does aphasia fall under the Alzheimer's umbrella, or is it that completely separate? I know this is a rather new thing, because I've told people about aphasia, and they're like, oh, I never heard of it. And then all you do is mention, well, the actor Bruce Willis. He has it. And if you go Google him, you can find out all about it. because he's going through it. So does it fall under Alzheimer's?
So yes, and I'll say this: the Alzheimer's Association, we support all forms of dementia. So, and when I talk about that, so dementia is actually not a diagnosis. I think that's really important that people to understand that it's really just it's a group of symptoms. And so, when we begin to see people experiencing changes in their cognition, memory, and personality, it's really important that we begin to have those conversations with our physicians of, these are the symptoms that we're seeing in ourselves or in our loved ones, and we need to figure out what's causing the symptoms. And so many people get really concerned about, some of these symptoms because they just automatically think, oh, I'm going to develop Alzheimer's disease. But many of these dementia symptoms can be caused by other medical conditions that are, if treated, are irreversible. So that's important for people to understand, and that's why we really push anytime after the age of 55 that individuals begin to have cognitive screenings in their during their annual wellness visit if you're on Medicare, or you're during your physical exam, because
Very important.
we need to continue to monitor our own cognitive health.
I believe there was a bill around that, right? Integrating those cognitive screenings for people starting at a certain age. We heard 90-something bills this year. So, but that is something that needs to be mandated, so to speak, right? Or just because creating an awareness of okay, if you're a certain age, you go for your physical. This is something that your doctor should screen for.
Right. Okay.
And that is part of under Medicare. That is part of the wellness exam is a cognitive screening, but
perhaps they need to start earlier now, considering that more people are having symptoms earlier, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Would you find that people that get diagnosed with the Alzheimer's disease, do they tend to go through the same stages like denial or anger and then acceptance, or is everybody just different?
I really feel that everybody is very different in their approach and how they handle and manage and that acceptance. I mean, we're all individualized. We do say when we see one person with Alzheimer's, it's that one individual and how they kind of experience it. I mean, I have seen families who call us and say, I just left the doctor's office today and I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease and I want to know everything I need to do. Okay. And then we have individuals who reach out to us and, I'm at my wit's end. It's the first time that I've, reached out to somebody. I've been supporting my person for the last 5 years. And I've never reached out.
I've hit a block.
I've hit a rock, and I've hit a wall, or I'm so stressed out.
I don't know where to go from here.
Or I'm in a crisis.
Yeah. Okay.
But I did want to answer your question about aphasia.
Okay.
For many people with Alzheimer's disease do experience aphasia, which is, the ability to have difficulty with language, word finding, and so that can be a symptom of Alzheimer's disease. But we know that there are individuals who have just been diagnosed with just aphasia. So again, it's just really, really important that when we are under the medical care of physicians and our medical team of whether it be a neuropsychologist or psychiatrist, neurologist, that we really make sure that we're getting a good diagnostic workup. And the diagnostic process takes time. It's not just going to you're to physician for that one time and telling them about the symptoms.
Oh no, there's a lot of testing.
There's a lot of testing, and the more testing we do, really helps us to kind of understand what's going on with our person. And we also know that there's a lot of mix in the diagnoses of dementias. There are individuals who have what we call mixed dementias, so they may have Alzheimer's disease along with frontal temporal lobe dementia or vascular dementia. So it's really important that when we're in the physician's office, we're really saying what's really going on in the home. So I encourage families to, keep a journal. of the symptoms and what you're seeing, and give as much information, because that's just one piece of what you're seeing in the home.
Okay, we're encouraging you to go, if you got someone that you know that has Alzheimer's, to the Caregivers Journey and Research Conference on Thursday, April 17th at the Crown Plaza in Warwick. If for some reason you can't make it down there, because there'll be a ton of information down there, Annie's going to be at our Senior Resource Fair on Saturday,
fantastic.
April 19th from 9 to 12, which is also free to get in. So if you have any questions directly for her, come on down to the Senior Resource Fair at the Elks Hall, and they can visit with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Annie, thanks for joining us today on the Coffee In program. This has been some great information. And once again, the journey, the Caregivers Journey and Research Conference, Thursday, April 17th at the Crown Plaza in Warwick, all day long. And just you need to register online. Go to alz.org/ri, and you'll be, that's where you go. That's where you get all your information, right?
Thank you, Joe.
Annie, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program. More coming up. It's time for the forecast, being brought to you by Compassion International. Today, cloudy skies. There's a chance of a mix of snow and rain before 11 a.m. High temperature will be near 49 with an east wind 5 to 8 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy skies, low around 35 with a northeast wind 7 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday's weather, rain and snow becoming all rain after 10 a.m. High will be near 38. Saturday night, mostly cloudy skies, rain likely before 9 p.m., then showers after that. Low temperature around 36. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers, high near 48. Monday, mostly sunny, high near 62. Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, we have cloudy skies with 37 degrees. Imagine a child in extreme poverty waiting over a year to be sponsored. End their wait today. Become a Compassion sponsor. Text radio to 83393. The staff at Trudell's Auction Gallery have more than 20 years of auction experience. They employ their own moving specialists to assure your valuables are packed and relocated safely to the gallery with ease. Auctions at Trudell's Auction Gallery take place on Monday mornings, and you can preview the items the weekend before. Check out their website to find the next auction, trudellsauction.com. The best little auction in Massachusetts is Trudell's Auction Gallery, 799 South Main Street, Bellingham.
This is an ad about a self-made teen. Me. See, I go to school, I do my chores, but I also have my own goals. I'm saving what I earn from making radio ads like this one to buy a gaming computer, and I'm using my Embark account to do it. With no fees, mobile banking, and a money management tool, it's like a spend account, but a lot smarter. So if you're a self-made teen like me, I suggest you get one too. The Embark account, banking for the self-made teen. Navigant Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Save the date for the third annual ON Radio Senior Fair, Saturday, April 19th from 9 a.m. to noon at the Elks Hall, 380 Social Street in Woonsocket. Meet and ask questions of some of the Blackstone Valley's best supporters of senior citizens, including attorneys, healthcare, financial services, and senior living. As usual, ON's Manny and Virginia and Gary Smith and the Do You Remember crew will be there to see you too. It's the third annual ON Radio Senior Fair, Saturday morning, April 19th from 9 a.m. to noon at the Elks Hall in Woonsocket.
This portion of the Coffee and program is sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Hey there, Blackstone Valley. The Valley Breeze is bringing back the Voices of the Valley Awards, and we want you to be a part of it. Who's got the best burger? The coolest hidden gem in town? You decide. Nominate and vote for your local favorites and help crown the best businesses, people, and places in this exciting community competition. Visit voicesofthevalley.net to learn more and vote daily for a chance to win cash prizes. That's voicesofthevalley.net.
Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan along with Melissa Murray, and we'll be joined now at the Coffee and table by Rich Lane from Post 85. Hey, Rich.
Hey, another happy Friday.
In his purple up shirt, very nice.
Oh, yeah, great weather out there for ducks today, too, huh? Unbelievable.
April showers.
April showers.
I'm still waiting on those.
White.
Well, that's true. That's true.
It was fun brushing off the car this morning.
Yeah, you know, it was funny
snow.
because my sister and I are very close, so she gives me a call the other day, and of course I mentioned I go up to Pittsburgh, New Hampshire every once in a while for snowmobiling with my grandkids. All the snow was gone there, she said, like 3 weeks ago. And she sent me a picture the other day. They had 9 inches of snow.
Wow.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
All right, Rich, what's going on post 85 wise?
There is so much that's happening right now. I'm hoping I can get it all in, because
Well
here I
done.
am, and I had all my notes prepared last night, and then the
dog ate it, or what?
state commander sent me a little thing. So when the state commander tells you that he wants it mentioned, you kind of pay attention. Right?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
So Dave, if you're listening out there, I'll definitely get to the stuff you sent me last night. But right now, of course, we have Purple Up going on. See my nice shirt? Anybody?
It's very nice.
Purple Up for military kids. Yes, I do. And Melissa was there last week when
Yep.
we had the ham dinner to
Yep,
kick
it was
off,
great.
and Brian Thompson was there.
Yep.
Senator Thompson. Very much appreciate both of you showing up. Bob Phillips, too.
Yes.
I think Bob was there, too.
Rep. Phillips was there,
Yep. So we had a lot of nice people show up. And, I just said to Melissa and Brian and Bob when they were sitting there that, I come on the radio a lot, and I tell everybody what goes on at the American Legion Post. And I've always been under the idea that you're known by the company you keep.
True.
And the people that show up when we have these events, that just goes to show you the respect that's given to the military. So, I want to thank Melissa and, everybody that showed up that night, because it was a wonderful success. We served about 75 meals.
Yeah, it was very busy. It was great.
And some of the other things we did, it amounted to over $1,000 for a kickoff
Fantastic.
campaign. So, like I said, and that's just the kickoff. So we got a lot of other the things that are coming up. Seeing that Joe asked on tomorrow. And it's supposed to be a crummy day tomorrow with a little rain, stuff like that. So I would say that there's nothing better than getting off of your couch and going down to Foolproof Brewery tomorrow.
Such a great
in
day for to go to a brewery when it's raining outside and there's nothing else to do.
And we're going to be at Foolproof tomorrow down in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, from 1 to 5 p.m. for Purple Up. And they're going to have Foolproof does a couple of different things for us when we're down there for the Purple Up people. And there's going to be a couple of food trucks out there, and we're going to have a couple of different functions going on that'll enable you to contribute to the Purple Up campaign. So I would highly suggest that if you got nothing to do from 1 to 5 p.m. tomorrow, come on down to Pawtucket. Have yourself a brew, and if you're going to have too many brews, have yourself a designated driver at the same time, right?
That's right.
Because I know I'm going to Foolproof tomorrow afternoon, and I know my wife, who does not imbibe in alcoholic drinks, will be taking the keys immediately.
Well, there you go.
Good.
So,
It's a responsible thing to do, right?
Yes, it is. So that'll be the first time ever. Don't laugh. But anyhow, come on down to Foolproof tomorrow and help Purple Up out. And then on Tuesday of next week, Cellos, who sponsors the Purple Up campaign for the auxiliary every year. We go down to Cellos here, and it's just a Woonsocket location, but they have these little pieces of paper here that.
Yep,
I got
little
coupons.
Coupons, as they say. We got these coupons.
Coupons.
That say Cellos on them, and American Legion Auxiliary 85, Purple Up for military kids. So what happens is that if you bring this in on Tuesday, they will take 20% of your order, and they will donate that. At the end of the day, they figure it all out on their calculators, and they'll give 20% back for the Purple Up campaign. So that's been extremely successful in the past. I also want to thank Cellos, while I'm sitting here for doing this for Purple Up every year. But we can't hand these out on site. So you can come down the American Legion Post 85, and we got a bunch of these behind the bar. Just ask the bartender to give you one, and at the same time have yourself a beverage before you leave and get to know the place a little bit. So like I said, that's April 15th, which is Tuesday of next week.
And it's all day, right?
All day
at Cellos.
All day at Cellos, absolutely. Might be lucky enough to see me down there. I'll be the guy in the other purple shirt. I won't wear, this might have to wash this one. But anyhow, we got the last thing that we do for Purple Up is on April the 26th, and that's the spaghetti supper. It's a closeout supper. It's a Saturday evening from 4 to 9 p.m. It's only $10, and you get a huge plate of pasta and some meatballs, and we're going to have music that night, and we're going to have other things going on that'll enable you to help contribute to the Purple Up campaign. So, like I said, if you're going to go to anything that's coming up, I'd love to see everybody at all of them, but if you're going to go to anything, the April 26th Spaghetti Supper at American Legion Post 85 down on River Street from 4 to 9 p.m. is the one you want to show up at, because that's the one where we really, really, have a great, great time. Now, as far as other things going on, this is the list that the state commander sent me last night.
You make sure you get to that. That's
I got to get to that, absolutely. Well, I'll try to go in, as they say, chronological order.
Okay.
One thing we're having, and it's funny, man, the month of April is flying by, ain't it?
I know it is.
So right around the corner, we are going to have on May 3rd, over at the American Legion Post 85, on Saturday, May 3rd, from 10 to 4 p.m., we're going to have a mega yard sale. We have for those of you who have been up there, we've got a pavilion that's covered, so if it's a little rainy day or something, nothing to worry about. But this yard sale, it's the people that belong to the entities of the American Legion Post that are going to be able to bring things for the yard sale. The yard sale is open to the public, so if you want to come up and look and buy things, that's open to the public. But as far as placing a table up there, you have to be a member of American Legion Post 85 or one of the other entities. So let's say you're sitting in your home right now and say, I wanted to go down there and join, but I just haven't had the time. But boy, I got a lot of stuff. I'd like to get a table out for a yard sale. So there you go. Come on down. Join one of the entities of the American Legion Post, and then you can sign your name on the piece of paper that says, I will be attending the yard sale and I need a table.
Oh, there you go.
See?
All right.
Great. So yeah.
Win-win.
So it's fantastic. So Saturday, May 3rd from 10 to 4 is that mega yard sale. And then we have let's see, what else did I have here? I got to flip through my phone here. Okay, on May the, how come I can't, no, because it's written in red and I ain't got my glasses on. On May the 30th, which is a ways off yet, okay? But you may want to have to save your pennies or a couple of dollars every week to go to this one. But on Friday, May the 30th, from 6 to 10 p.m., if you are a cigar aficionado, they're going to, and we've had this for, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 years we've done these. They've been extremely successful. But once again, if you're a cigar aficionado, we are going to have steak and cigar night under the stars. That's on Friday, May 30th from 6 to 10 p.m. You're going to get 3 quality cigars, the steak dinner with all the extras, a full bar, and there's going to be prizes and things. And tickets for that are $55 a ticket. And if you buy 2 or more, it's $50 a ticket. So those tickets are available down at Post 85. And the cutoff day for the tickets is May the 21st. So that's, like I said, that's on May 30th, and I'll be announcing that in the next couple of weeks once again. Now, the other things that are coming up at Post 85, just to let you know about future things, we're going to be opening up the pavilion in May. The first outside event around the pavilion. And Joe, I hope you got your leotards out of the cleaners.
Oh, do they need me back again?
Yep, they need you back again.
All right.
I understand Melissa's going to be involved this year, and we're going to have co-ed wrestling.
Oh, no.
That's what I understand. So you and Joe can
No,
get in the ring.
I'm just going to be your promoter. That's
Are you
all.
just going to promote?
I'm going to be I'll be your manager. I'm going to be a manager.
It's a mixed tag team. Is
Yeah,
what it's
mixed
called.
tag team. Okay, so we're gonna try to get that. I got to talk to the promoter and see if we can get a mixed tag team thing going. I think that'd be pretty good. You got anybody down at the State House you want to get into?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we could make that happen.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, I think so. I can think of a couple of
think so.
people.
That would
I
be
can think of a
I
couple
just
people.
piqued their interest on that one. But anyhow,
Maybe a lobbyist or two.
But coming up in May, the first outside event is going to be the New England World Wrestling Extreme Live Wrestling. That'll be on May the 17th. And then the following week on May the 24th, we're going to start our outside bands again. So I'll be just doing that, announcing as I come in on the Fridays, but just in case you're wondering what's in front of you at the post. And then one of the big days, and another reason why you should come down and join one of the entities, is because on June the 21st is going to be our family membership day. And that is going to go from noontime till 11 p.m. And we set up a lot of activities for families and kids. And one of the things, I was extremely impressed when they did this last year, and I'd never heard these guys before, but there was a live performance last year from the School of Rock.
School of Rock is great.
They were
kids are awesome.
I could not believe it. I'm jaw dropped.
I've seen them for the last few years at Autumn Fest, and they keep changing over because once you're 18, you got to leave. And so they bring up new kids.
Yep.
And what they do is amazing.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's such great music. And they're going to be performing the afternoon of Family Membership Day. We're going to have petting zoo, face painting, a whole lot more. It's all being put together now by a team of ladies from the auxiliary. And then at night, the reason why it's going from noon to 11 p.m. is at night we got Runnin' Wild, which is a great, great band from the area. So like I said, put that date down on June 21st to come down for the Family Membership Day. But in order to be part of the Family Membership Day, you should become a member.
There you go.
So there you go. So come on down and visit us, American Legion Post 85. We have all the forms. You can join the American Legion as a veteran. You can join the auxiliary as a lady that has a military member in the family. You can join the Sons of the American Legion if you're a male and you have a father or grandfather that was in the military. And if you got no military connection whatsoever, there's the Friends of Fairmount, who's the civilian organization that helps us out at the American Legion Post. So there's no reason to say I can't join except for sheer laziness.
All right, Rich, thanks. More Coffee Hands coming your way. Stick around. This portion of Coffee Hands has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Hey there, Blackstone Valley. The Valley Breeze is bringing back the Voices of the Valley Awards, and we want you to be a part of it. Who's got the best burger? The coolest hidden gem in town? You decide. Nominate and vote for your local favorites and help crown the best businesses, people, and places in this exciting community competition. Visit voicesofthevalley.net to learn more and vote daily for a chance to win cash prizes. That's voicesofthevalley.net.
In a world where good food, friendly faces, and unforgettable memories collide, there's one place that stands out from the rest. Gators Pub is proudly celebrating 35 years of excellence in North Smithfield. Join us at Gators Pub, where every visit feels like coming home. Our secret to success? It's simple. Our super friendly staff and mouth-watering dishes prepared fresh daily by our talented chefs. Sink your teeth into our delectable lunch specials from Monday through Thursday and savor complimentary soup to warm your soul. Enjoy the game day excitement with multiple TVs showing the Boston Red Sox while indulging in classic appetizers like our famous potato skins and pita chips. Looking for a lively atmosphere to watch volleyball games? Look no further. Pair it with our juicy burgers or the latest cocktail creations to elevate your experience. Gators Pub, your ultimate destination for good times and great food. Come and celebrate with us at Gators Pub on Route 102, just a mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Make every moment memorable at Gators Pub, where good friends and great flavors meet. Remember, there are no strangers at Gators Pub, just good friends you haven't met yet.
As we ease into spring, Barky the Seal is still hibernating. We will hear from him later. But Lance at Interstate Seal Coating is wide awake and ready to install a new driveway for you this year. Lance will give you a free estimate on seal coating, crack filling, and parking lot striping. Interstate Seal Coating won a gold medal for Best Paving Asphalt Seal Coating in the Best of the Blackstone Valley contest. Call Lance at Interstate Seal Coating, 401-349-9360. 349-9360. Call today and he'll seal you tomorrow.
Oh, wow, honey, I love it. It's so beautiful and so sparkly.
Just like you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
I'll wear it every day. It goes with everything.
This Mother's Day, wow Mom with spirit-lifting, outfit-making, express your love jewelry. Shop jtv.com/mom for wow-worthy and budget-friendly styles.
I'm never taking it off.
Another wow factor? Sign up for JTV Text and get $30 off. If she loves jewelry, she'll love JTV.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
It's time for the 15th annual Breakfast with the Saints at the St. Anarton Cultural Center on Sunday, April 27th from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Enjoy a delicious breakfast buffet under the center's magnificent frescoes. Tickets are $20 in advance or $25 at the door and are available at Belo's Flowers, Creative Impressions, The Honey Shop, Pine Swamp Place, Timeless Antiques, Vos True Value Hardware. Visit the St. Anarton Cultural Center website or to reserve a table, call 401-486-9380.
Thanks, Dominic. It's Coffee In on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray and Rich Lane. And they're, I thought they were ready to go when they seated 16 jurors in the Karen Reed trial. And now they've seated 16, and now they want 2 more. This trial just gets more and more bizarre. So they have 12 regular jurors. They have 4 alternates, and on Monday, I guess there's no court today because it's Friday. The process will continue on Monday. They want to add 2 more alternate jurors, and then they'll have opening statements on Tuesday, and then we'll really start.
There's a lot of people out there that have their opinions on guilt, innocence, and all that stuff. Here's the only thing I'm going to say about it is that this thing has been so convoluted since the very, very beginning that at the end of it all, it's probably all going to get thrown out because there's been so much.
Well, that's what they wanted from the defense has wanted that from the beginning.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen. There's just too much crap going on around the whole thing. It just, I don't know.
All right. So that's just the latest.
Just my opinion. Just my opinion.
So I found this story amusing. There is a garbage removal company in Pennsylvania. Actually, they're around here too. I just had them. Republic Service. You must see the big blue trucks.
Yeah, big blue trucks.
Okay.
Sure.
So that garbage removal company in Pennsylvania, they're being sued. Okay, by a Pittsburgh area employee who claims he was run over by his own truck. It is kind of humorous, isn't it?
But he was working for Republic, so we.
Well, that's right.
Okay.
Tyler Spade of Uniontown, Pennsylvania, is suing Republic Services as well as the Penn Township resident and the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. We're suing everybody, Rich. Okay.
Are you suing the resident where he was picking up the truck?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm good.
Now he claims his truck hit what he described as a leaning and overhanging tree back in August. So that's why we're suing the resident. It's their tree. All right. The complaint claims the impact caused Spade to be thrown from the truck, which then ran over his legs.
So he must have been the guy hanging off of the side of the. He couldn't have been the driver.
You know
what I'm saying? The guys that hang off the side.
Well, you would
like
think
the
so,
old
but
days?
it does say garbage truck driver.
Okay,
Just
driver.
over.
Okay.
So maybe he hopped off for whatever reason. I don't know. The complaint claims the impact caused Spade to be thrown from the truck, and then it ran over his legs. According to the complaint, Spade suffered multiple injuries, including leg fractures, permanent nerve damage, lacerations, and contusions. And he claims the injuries have resulted in pain, anguish, sickness, and agony.
I'm not going to say the pain didn't cause him all that, because when you get yourself run over by a truck, it's got to hurt.
It's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt.
Especially
right?
if you break your legs.
Yeah. But, if you're getting out of the truck...
I don't know. That's Melissa's phone.
Yeah, I'm just going to do the stop it.
Yeah, just throw it to voicemail.
Yeah. But if you're getting out of the truck, I would think that you should put the truck in park.
Well, you would think he would be in trouble because he hit the tree. He claims his truck hit what he described as a leaning and overhanging tree. So the tree didn't hit the truck. The truck hit the tree, right? So he should be, part of it is his fault. You hit the tree. I know it's overhanging into the, oh, well.
Well, good luck with your lawsuit.
Well, good luck with the lawsuit.
And I
right.
hope you recover. I sincerely am not laughing at the injuries. I hope you do recover from your injuries.
We're laughing at the lawsuit.
Yeah, laughing about the lawsuit.
All
That's
right.
Yeah, we got to clarify that. What
did you get? Is that an important note that was called?
Oh, God, yeah, it's a huge important note. And thank you, Dennis. I much appreciate you calling in and asking these questions. Because my Montreal Canadian fan out there, and the Canadians are going into the playoffs.
Wait till next year.
Yeah, wants to know how the Bruins are doing this year.
So it's like this.
It's like this, okay?
Not so good.
Not so good. And we'll leave it at that.
They have dropped like a rock. So it's wait till next year.
Wait till next year. Wait till next year.
I mean, Don Sweeney was on with the guys last night on TV, and basically, I was hardly paying attention, but it was basically said, "We're making changes next year," and that's basically what
we got to improve in all aspects,
all areas. Well,
all areas. Well, guess what, Don? I'd hang on
with you.
I'd hang on tight if I were you.
So that means coaching and offense, defense, goaltenders.
That means executive positions and
it's everything.
And I wonder how Cam's feeling about that and the whole. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting off season.
It sure will be. All right, out in California, Rich, wild donkeys are a real problem. Did you even know we had them?
I knew we had. I knew there were wild donkeys. I knew that, but I didn't know where they resided.
It's San Bernardino. In case you're wondering, in case you're going to California. Mm-hmm. Okay, now way back in the 1840s, when was the gold rush? 1860s?
60s.
Okay,
yeah, 1860s.
When the gold rush happened a century ago, donkeys were brought because they were pack mules for the miners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when the gold rush was over and the miners left, they said to the donkeys, "You're on your own. We're just leaving you." And they did. So now they were left to their own devices. So now it's 100 years later, well over 100 years later. So today they've been able to multiply without any stoppage. And so now they're a hazard, okay? Scores of them gather, they block roads, and they destroy private property. The LA Times reports the county of San Bernardino has contracted with a local nonprofit to address the overpopulation problem. Donkeyland, that's an actual organization. They're going to go around and they're going to sterilize and relocate the animals to its Donkeyland Sanctuary. There's a Donkeyland Sanctuary in California. It's a 2,000-acre sanctuary where the donkeys can run wild and have themselves a great time.
I wonder if it's right near the big blue ball of yarn. You know that you.
I don't know, but it's they have wildfires, they've got mudslides, and now we've got donkeys running amok.
You know, you talk
California.
about like the wild dog. I saw a thing on the news the other day, on one of the stations that there was a wolf, some kind of a white wolf.
They brought back from extinction.
From genetics and things like that.
Like
a
7,000-year-old tooth and a 10,000-year-old skull. They were able to extract the DNA, and they've created this dire wolf. And they've created 3 pups.
They say they're dangerous, though. I mean, is it
they
just
might be.
genetically?
I mean, right now they're little.
Yeah.
Tiny
Look
little,
at Melissa's.
So I know I've seen
knows
these.
about the dire wolf.
Right,
I do.
now they're cute little pups.
Yeah, and they're white, and so
they,
they're already going. Oh, they're like. They're amazing, but they're very small right now. In about 2 weeks, they'll probably eat your face off. But they're very cute right now.
I took my granddaughter. There's a wolf sanctuary in Massachusetts. It's towards the North Shore area.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it, but you can look up. It was pretty cool. To be honest with you, they're
very impressive animals.
Because people are a fan of Game of Thrones, where the person that wrote Game of Thrones didn't come up with it, knew about dire wolves, but knew they were extinct. And the new ones now are being kept in a secret location because they don't want Game of Thrones fans showing up trying to either take them or take pictures with them or anything like that. So they're in a secret area.
You know what?
And no one knows where they are.
So if they
Well, a few people do.
Right. They get a little older and somebody tries to like take a selfie with them.
Well, that's right.
Then they get what they get, right?
Well, it's like the guy last week that we told with the 7 tigers.
Yes.
You know, something. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong
with these kind of things? So
What could go wrong with keeping a kangaroo in your backyard? What could go wrong?
Were you able to do that thing, Melissa, with the...
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so it is printable then now.
They were talking about the coupon for
coupon, yeah, we're talking about the coupon for cellos.
Coupon.
We just want to make sure if people out there want to go to cellos on Tuesday, that if
they
you
have
can't make it down
yes.
to the post, if you wanted to go to the WON event site.
If you go to our ON Radio's Facebook page, I just posted a picture of the coupon or whatever you would like to call it, to use this coming Tuesday to benefit Purple Up at Cellos in Woonsocket.
Wonderful.
It's online, ready to go.
We got to close out the program because do you remember people are getting anxious and want to get in here?
Angsty. They're getting
angsty. Oh, no.
Get out.
Okay, this is what happened when you leave the door open.
I know. Thanks to Andy Murphy from the Alzheimer's Association who joined us earlier today. Rich Lane, thanks for coming in today.
Always a pleasure. Come on down and visit the Foolproof Brewery tomorrow and support Purple Up.
All right. Melissa Murray, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, this is Joe Callahan, and against our better judgment, Do You Remember's coming up next here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.